What's up, PC fam? Welcome back to the Players Choice channel. This is Chill with Chill. We know we just saw y'all a couple hours ago. We back. We're gonna kick it with y'all for a little bit, and then later on tonight we will see y'all again on playback. It's the watch party of Game Three. The Los Angeles Clippers will be at home against the Denver Nuggets to see who can take the advantage in the series. It's tied up 1-1. Don't miss it. We will be there.
Mhm.
Uh, Chill. Playoff basketball.
This
That's
what
all
we
I can
here
say.
for, Ox.
Playoff
This,
basketball.
this what we here for, Ox. This what we doing here, man. The best of the best are now in action. We've got great series. We got some series that should be over real quick, but we got some series that we're gonna have some dog fights, big fella. Yeah, we are. We're gonna have some dog fights.
Right.
And by the way, Ox,
Um,
and it's something that you and I are gonna talk about later, but in addition to have us having dog fights, because I know how you feel about Draymond, yapping starting to get a little bit louder. That's what happens when when you're in competition.
it's getting loud all over though. Cause I don't know if y'all heard Chill when they asked Darius Garland what's the game plan. What did he say, Chill?
He said, "Take care of the basketball. Pick on Tyler Hero."
Pick on Tyler Hero.
Verbatim, he said that. Pick on Tyler Hero. Now, I know my man Ox, right? So me and Ox talk about this all the time. Ox, what's your famous phrase? Weak what?
Weak as hell.
Now, just so you know, players look at other players like that. Let's make sure that we clear on that. Don't think that that's only in the park. Don't think that that's only in high school. That's only in college. No. Players at the pro level look at other players like that. He with us. He
But
weak as
but
hell.
but Chill. I mean, with that being said, like, isn't it fair to say that Tyler Hero's doing some picking on himself though? Like, isn't it fair to say that Tyler Hero shot two free throws last night and had
Yes.
33 points? Like,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody's getting picked on, he's picking on somebody too.
Oh, don't think this is a one-way street, Ox. No, If you coming after me, I'm coming after you too. And don't think
Right.
I don't know you coming after me. Don't think that I don't know that you're trying to get me in as much action as you possibly can. Don't think that I don't know that you're trying to get me in switches. You're trying to get mismatches on me. Don't think that I don't know that. And I take that very personally because you think I'm whack. You think I'm the mismatch out here. You think I'm the weak link out here. Well, I'll tell you what I'm not. Okay. I'm not the weak link out here. Yes, that Cleveland Cavaliers team is looking at Tyler Hero like, yo, we got to go after him on offense because he's the weak link on their defense. Tyler Hero is looking at Darius Garland like, this dude lunch. He can't cover me.
Brunch. He's brunch. That's more of a mismatch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say it. I'm not saying Tyler's better than Darius Garland. And
Right.
that's not even what this is about. He's talking about our team strategy is to pick on him. He's not necessarily saying, hey, I'm better than Tyler Hero. I don't know what he believes. That's not for me to say. What I will say is this.
Mm-hmm.
I got more faith in I would Tyler guards him better than he guards Tyler. I think Tyler got buckets for them. On top of that, chill. I was kind of, messing around, and it's obviously 2-0 right now. But when you look at this Miami Heat team and this Cleveland team, I really don't think this Cleveland team is that much better than them. I
I
think
just,
I think this team can play with them. Chill. I think if Bam and Andrew Wiggins come to play basketball
Mhm.
for 48 minutes,
Yep.
there's no reason why this can't go to 7. I mean,
Well,
Tyler,
you
he
you
out
and
there by himself. Chill.
you and I have had this conversation about how I feel about the Miami Heat, and I feel like that they are a league all the way from not being a good team, challenging in the Eastern Conference. I think they that good. I think
Yeah.
that they have all the stuff necessary in order to really challenge in the Eastern Conference. They just a point guard away. We got our two guard. Tyler Hero's an all-star. We got Andrew Wiggins, a 20 a game, a guy, 20 a game for his career. You got your four-man, one of the best defensive players in the game, arguably a 20 and 10 guy. And then you got your five-man. You got your rotation guys in Jaime Jaquez and Robinson, right? You got your rotation guys. You got your energy guy and Highsmith. Ox, they ain't that far away. This crew is not
Hmm.
whack. This crew actually has a lot of the things necessary in order to win it, in order to have an opportunity to win it. They really just a Darius Garland, a Colin Sexton, a Tyrese Maxey type of point guard away from really challenging in the Eastern Conference. They not that far away. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that lineup, and what I think about in the NBA in today's game, especially at the league guard spot, Ox, you got to be able to score it. You cannot
Mhm.
just be relegated to just being a defender. You can't just be relegated to just being a distributor. You got to be able to score the basketball. And I'm looking at this lineup and I'm thinking, what does Colin Sexton look like in this lineup? Because Colin Sexton, when I remember him when he was in Cleveland, he was a 25-5 guy when he was
Mhm.
in Cleveland. He was a bucket getter. He's on a bad team in Utah. So
Mhm.
I don't think that they're using him correctly. Put him on that Miami team where now, one, you got other dogs around him. You got Bam as a dog. I think he actually fits Heat's culture. And,
Mhm. I
and
can
on the
see that.
top of that, he comes cheap. And what do I,
Yeah.
and what am I getting from him? I'm getting a lead guard who can give me anywhere between 17 and 20 a game on a
Right.
Tuesday. I can get
Right.
that from him.
I like Colin Sexton. My thing is how much better is Colin than Davion? And I know what you said about you have to be able to do more than defend and pass the rock, got to be able to score. So I understand from that standpoint.
Yep.
But I would be more after a guy like Anthony Simons, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm with you though, Chill. I think they're not far away. I don't think they're far
I
away.
don't.
I just need Andrew Wiggins and Bam got to come to play basketball though. They can't have pedestrian games. But you already said it. I think this series is over too. I don't think this is gonna go far, but I just think they got the personnel.
And I can appreciate your confidence as a basketball player, but unfortunately, sometimes you get overmatched.
Hmm.
Yesterday, I'm watching that Cleveland game, and to your point about Bam and Andrew Wiggins coming to play, Evan Mobley came to play yesterday because he got his ass kicked by Bam in game one.
Hmm.
And he knows for a fact, if we're gonna have a chance to compete for a championship, this kind of play, this can't happen with me. I can't be
Right.
out here getting my ass kicked. And he got it,
Right.
and he came to play yesterday. He took it to
Hmm.
Bam. He was on the glass. Not only was he on the glass, he was way more aggressive as an offensive player, way more aggressive as a scorer. He was looking at the basket more. I saw him surveying the defense. I saw him catching guys on the weak side in not just transition, but in half court, because Miami has that shift in their defense. I see him seeing Donovan Mitchell. I see him seeing Max Strus when Max Strus shifts to the corner when
Hmm.
the defense collapses. He's doing that kind of stuff. And in order for me, and I'm not even going to talk about him defensively because you already know how I feel about him as a defensive player, but
Right.
offensively, offensively, he knows that I need to bring that kind of stuff in order for us to have an opportunity to win. Bam can't be out here kicking my ass if we're gonna have an opportunity to win. No.
Right. Got to do more
Mm-mm,
than that.
mm-mm.
So besides the Miami Cleveland game, um, there was the Boston Orlando game, and we
Was
all
the
know
Boston
JT.
Orlando game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do know JT was out. I wasn't aware of that news until yesterday, a couple hours
Mm-hmm.
before the game. Um, and they still pulled it out.
Mm-hmm.
What does that show? What are you seeing in this? Is this a 4-game sweep? This one's over too?
Of the series that I've seen, Ox, the Miami Heat versus Cleveland, Orlando
Hmm.
against Boston, and Oklahoma City against Memphis.
Oh,
Those three series, none of them dudes should get a game. They should
right.
not
So
get a
those are
game.
the 3 sweeps.
Those are the series that I'm thinking about. And watching that Orlando Boston series. Now, a lot of people will say that with Orlando, their offense is as good as it is. I mean, as bad as it is, it can give me stretches. That's not enough against this Boston team. And I think it's a testament. I don't think Orlando is that bad more than I think Boston is just that good. I
Yeah.
think Boston has the personnel. To your point about next man up, don't get me wrong, Ox. It's difficult when your best player, your best wing defender, your best scorer, your best distributor, your best rebounder, when he goes out of the lineup, it's pretty difficult to cover that up. But the fact that
Hmm.
the Celtics have the personnel in order to mask that, because when you're going up against an Orlando team that's got a scorer in Paolo and they feed off of him, well, shit, if they feeding off of him, then any of those guys at any point can get it cooking. The problem with that is Boston thwarts that with everything that they have, where Derek White, who he'll miss a three and then they'll go right back to him. It's not like one of those in the same possession, or I believe what you call it, Ox, is 2 for $1. Right back in that
Hmm.
same possession where he'll crack another one, make that one, and that's a back-breaking possession
Yeah.
defensively
Yeah.
for this Orlando Magic team. Backbreaking. So when I see the Orlando Magic offense, they'll have stretches. Last night is a prime example of that. They'll have stretches in the second quarter. They'll have stretches in the third quarter where they'll give me consistent minutes. They'll go on 12-2 runs. Not prime, but Paolo, he's so good getting downhill. He's so good at creating space, which he was doing last night and getting in that mid post in that mid-range area. He's so good at that. The problem with the Orlando Magic is it's only in stretches. There is no consistency with their offense. And Ox, I know
Right.
how you feel about France, and I know that you're a big France fan. I am too. I love that kid. I think that he's great. But his jump shots got to get better. He's got to be more consistent as a scorer. And if he can become that and they can stay healthy with Jalen Suggs being healthy, with Paolo being healthy the entire season, I'm going out on a limb. I think they're a top 3 seed in the East. I don't think that they're a top 5 seed. I think they're a top 3 seed in the East. I think they jump Indiana. I think they jump Milwaukee. I think that they're right there with the Knicks. I think they're that good.
Yeah, I think they jumped New York as well. I think they the Jalen Suggs and whatever lead guard, I think make Paolo and Franz so much better. You know what I'm saying? So much better than they are. And they're great defensively. The team is right on track to where I think they should be. That's a good ball club down there.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, so I'm with you though. I think that one's going to be over relatively quick. 5 maybe. I'm looking at a 4-game sweep, maybe 5. Just show a little love to them on a basketball tip. Other game last night, chill. Well,
Yeah.
wait a second. First, before we get to this game, because as you said, it's starting to get a little chippy. It's getting a little chippy in these playoffs. We even had Indiana and Milwaukee, Dame and Tyrese in game 1, back and forth. Dame comes back, they still lose. Giannis is saying, I know what the F I got to do. It's game 3. I know what game 3 is going to be. What is that, Chill? What is it? What is Milwaukee missing? Is because when you said all these 4-game sweeps, I'm wondering, do you think Indiana are they this much better than Milwaukee where they could possibly get rid of them in 4-2?
It's a possibility they can. I don't think it's likely off the strength of what exactly you just said. Just Giannis's the tone of his voice, the sense of urgency that he has, and the sense of urgency that he has amongst that unit too. Listen, guys, we can't go down 3-0. We go down 3-0, this series is over. We are finished. We cannot have these guys come in here and beat us. Bobby, you got to be better on the glass. Brooke, we're going to put you in space where you can be successful. No more switches at the top of the key when you're playing against the lead guard. Dame, you got to get downhill as much as you can. Crack the long ball. Put the pressure on their defense as much as possible. There has to be a sense of urgency with this Milwaukee team. Even though they may be a little bit talent depleted as opposed to Indiana, there has to be a sense of urgency. And that's what I hear from Giannis. Giannis knows that we lose this game, we are in a world of trouble. I'm not saying that we're in trouble. I'm not saying that we're in a little bit of trouble. Indiana did what they were supposed to do in their building. Right. They went home. They protected home floor. We're coming into our building. We have to protect home floor. And we have to play with that sense of urgency. The long ball line's got to be better defended. We got to rebound a lot. We got to rebound a lot better. And not just me. Even though I am the better rebounder than all of you guys, even though I am the better scorer than all of you guys, I'm the best player here. You guys also have to do your jobs as well. You guys got to get on the glass. KP, you have to play better. You got to do a better job in taking care of the basketball. Our rotation guys got to be better. Not only do our rotation guys have to be better, our starting 5 has to be better. We have to be more of a collective because they're more of a collective. And the only way for us to do that when we're home, the only way for us to do that is to get on the same page. That's the only way that we're going to be better as a collective.
What's Milwaukee's chances of getting back to Indianapolis, even Stevens?
I like it, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, I like it off the strength of Giannis. And I feel like Giannis, I knew that I was going to get a masterclass series from him. I didn't think that this would be a good series from Giannis. I knew I was getting something like 35 to 40 a game. And then now add in Dame with that, right? Add in Dame with that, who's knocking off some of the rust. Add in Dame, who's knocking off some of the rust. And add in Dame, who's also has this rivalry thing going on between him and the young fella. And I don't want this dude to show me up. I don't. I do
Yeah.
not want this dude
Right.
to show me up. We already got knocked out of the playoffs by them last year, right? We already got knocked out of the playoffs by them last year, and Giannis wasn't available. I'm available, and me and Giannis are both available. So with us being available, we have enough to, at minimum, get a game. And we'll start with the game. I ain't thinking about us winning the series, Ox. Just one game. And the way we do that, we got to put pressure on them. We got to put pressure on their defense more than anything. We got to make Naismith guard. We got to make Turner get on the glass. We got to make because I feel like that slows him down as an offensive player. Because what they're not doing. Let's be clear about this, Ox. They're not conceding to Giannis. They're actually trying to slow him down. Right. We got to put Siakam on the defense. We got to go at him. Kuz has to be better, and I think Kuz knows that. And I'm not sure that the pressure is getting to him, but I think he recognizes that in order for us to have an opportunity to win this, or in order for us to have an opportunity to win Game 3, what I did in Game 1, what I did in Game 2, that goes by the wayside. I got to be better in Game 3. I got to be more assertive. I got to get on the glass more. The quick hits that I'm good at, the stuff that I'm good at, I have to be efficient at that when we play these dudes tomorrow night. So I think I'm giving Milwaukee's a puncher's chance, and I think that they get Indiana in Game 3.
Chill, Game 3. It's a lot riding on Game 3. I'll tell you.
100%.
I saw some papers getting put together. This afternoon. I'm walking by the office. I looked in. And I seen some papers getting. They were putting them together. You know, you get to stack them up, get them right, staple. You know, put them in the folder.
It's
I don't know, man.
Talk about that too, Ox, because I just seen the judge. He had an appointment. He had an appointment like next week to sign these papers to issue the arrest warrant. He did, and because he told the district attorney. He told him, he's like, "Yo, if you bringing this indictment to me, you need to show me more, because this right here ain't enough. I need to see a little bit more.
Yeah.
I need to see a little bit more. But if these indictment papers look like they could look, where they lose Game 3 and they lose Game 4, we might have to have a conversation, Ox.
You know what's funny about this guy, Duke, chill, is that if the Nuggets would have won Game 2, Duke would have had this paperwork on Kawhi's front doorstep as soon as he woke up the next morning. But he's going to defend Giannis, who I think I've said Giannis is the best player in the NBA still. I need Giannis to prove it right now. We talked about it before the playoffs started. I was saying Giannis needs to will his team through this first round. Needs to beat the Pacers. I think not. Giannis really needs this series, yeah. If not, I mean, and it's just because of the way basketball talks are. It's a toxic world. It's a toxic place we live in right now. Yep. You know what I mean? If he goes out in the first round, Giannis is fully healthy. He had Dame for Game 2. Dame's here for Game 3. I don't know how much bail we can cut Giannis if he doesn't prevail through this series. And I know that might sound like narrative talk, y'all, but y'all just gonna have to deal with this one, because he's been out the first round the past 2 years straight.
This will be the third straight year,
This is three. This is three.
This will be the third straight year.
That's unacceptable. It's unacceptable for you to
be third straight, by the way.
This is the prime, and he's in his prime right now.
Yeah, yo.
I mean, I need Giannis to do it.
And the reason why is because I know that it is narrative talk, but we've seen players win a series. We've seen players who are able to get their team to a playoff to get their team to a playoff series win. I've seen that before. I've seen Dirk do that. Right? I've seen Dirk do that. I've seen Shaq do that. I've seen players. I've seen James do it. Anthony Davis take over a playoff series and go, "We are winning this. We're not losing to these dudes." I've seen that happen before, right? So with that being said, I know I accept the fact that Giannis is doing everything that he can. I knew I was going to get a masterclass from him, but the optics just look bad. They look really bad. I had to deal with the same thing in the late 80s, early 90s with Olajuwon.
Right.
The same thing I had to deal with Olajuwon in the late 80s, early 90s, because I watched Olajuwon get out the first round in 1993. And they lost. They ended up losing to Phoenix. He was the defensive player of the year that year and willed his team to get out the first round of the playoffs. That happened. I've seen
Right.
that happen. But a player as good as Giannis is, a player as good as Giannis is, ain't nobody saying that you got to throw this team on your back and take them to the NBA championship. No, I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is when you have a matchup like a 4-5 matchup, it's a lot more even than a 3-6 or a 2-7 matchup. A lot more even, which means that how much of a separator the separator in this series is going to be you. You are going to be the difference in this series. How much you do. And that doesn't mean that I got to average 40 in order for us to win. I can average 30 and be efficient as a defender and as a rebounder and take over. And I could give you, Ox, I could give you a 45 and 20 game throughout the course of this series. And it'd be enough for us to win. That could happen. But to your point, to get bounced for the third straight year, this is the conversation that I was having when we talked about Kobe Bryant being the best player in the world.
Mm-hmm.
This is the conversation that we were having when we talked about Kobe Bryant being the best player in the world. And I'm thinking to myself, when you dudes was telling me, I don't mean you specifically, but when you dudes was telling me that, yo, Bryant was the best player in the world this year, and I'm thinking, in my lifetime, what player was the best player in the world when he missed the playoffs, got bounced in the first round, got bounced in the first round, and got bounced in the first round? I don't remember that. 05, 06, and 07. I don't remember that happening.
Right.
That's never happened in my lifetime. I don't remember that.
Well,
No.
and I know a lot of y'all hate to hear it in the chat or wherever, just winning absolutely matters, y'all. Like losing in the first round of the playoffs and not making the playoffs, that's a big deal. That's serious, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you have a certain, if you want to be looked at as having a certain level of carryability, which I think Giannis has shown. He's shown it before in the playoffs. I just want him to pull through, and I was saying that before the playoffs started. I wasn't expecting him to go down, 2-0, but I really need to see Giannis make a push. Game
Mhm.
three, game four. Let's get back to Indianapolis tied up. The other game last night, Chill. Another series that I think is going to be a pretty good one. We saw Jimmy Butler go down. I'm not
Mhm.
sure what his status will be for game three. Um, but what do you think? How do you see this series playing out now after you saw what you saw last night? And I'm talking about just as you know right now, with all the information you know right now, the uncertainty about Jimmy Butler and everything. Where do you see this, and what do you expect to see in game three?
This throws a monkey wrench in everything that Golden State were doing. Jimmy Butler was the difference. He was the secondary scorer. He was their secondary playmaker. He was their secondary defender. He was their other vet. He was that missing piece that they needed in order for them to have a chance to compete for the NBA championship. He was that difference. If he's out of the lineup, Ox, they go back to being what they were. They go back to being the 8th, 9th, 10th team in the Western Conference. They go right back to that. And now this series turns into something completely different where I actually had, if I'm not mistaken, I had the Warriors winning this series off the strength of Steph Curry because of what Jimmy Butler brought. It was very
Right.
much like what was going on with Dirk in 2000, in 2010, 2011, where just keep it close, I'll finish it. Just keep it close and I'll end it. And that's what I feel like was going on. That's what I feel like was going on with Steph Curry when he got Jimmy Butler. When he got Jimmy Butler, that secondary scorer, and I got Draymond as the playmaker, and how much more effective he is as an offensive player, how much attention he draws, how smart he is as a distributor. All of that stuff, right? All of that stuff is happening with all of that stuff is happening with all of that stuff is happening with Steph Curry. And now, if Jimmy Butler's out of the lineup, they go right back to where they were. I think they go right back to where they were. And I think Houston wins this series. If I'm being honest with you, Ox, I don't know if Golden State gets another game if Jimmy Butler ain't playing. I'd be surprised if Golden State got another game because that means
Yeah.
Steph Curry got to put the cape on and he got to keep it on the whole time. There is no keep it close and I'll end it. Nope, that's not going on. No.
Still, you think Steph Curry's not capable? Is that what you're
Oh,
saying? You think Steph Curry still don't got some capes left in that closet?
and Ox, we literally just talked about this, Ox, about the ability to just talk and how these dudes see these dudes, and in your words, weak as hell. Ox, don't think for 1 second the young boys over in Houston ain't looking at Golden State like, yo, we about to bounce these old dudes. We about to get these old dudes up out of here. We straight about to get these old dudes up out of here.
Right. And we talked about that. We believe that, but I mean, I still believe that Draymond Green affects the basketball game.
Oh, he does.
I do. I do think that those other guys can pull through. Now, if Jimmy don't come back, chill, I got Houston. Don't get me wrong. If that fall was really that bad and Jimmy can't come back, like I got Houston for sure. But I got Houston in like 6. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Steph would get 1, and that's irrelevant. Getting 1 don't matter. So who cares, right? But I'm just saying, like, Steph Curry still got something for them young boys too. Like it's him.
Yeah.
And look, I look at it this way. These are like older lions that have been around, and these is a young pack of hyenas. Like, yo, no, this us now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
young pack
y'all get us out of here.
Not a young pack of hyenas. Young pack of lions.
Them dudes is whatever they are. Chill. They want it. And
all of it.
But chill. I don't think that was that big a deal. Jimmy fell from a couple feet in the air. He don't jump as high as he used to. He wasn't that high. He fell. Boom. He was probably banged up real good. He was like, I don't know. He's gonna be back game 3.
Long as there's no bones broken again, Ox, and it's probably a bruise. And we just talked about Jason Tatum with that bruise, which I just want to make sure that all of you guys know. And I said this earlier to Ox. If they win game 3, if Boston wins game 3, Jason Tatum ain't touching the floor for the rest of the series.
He shouldn't.
He's not. He's not touching the floor for the rest of the series. Y'all dudes can handle this without me. Get that bone bruise healed up, because a bone bruise is a lot more painful than people think. However, it's very much like what's going on with Jimmy Butler. If there's nothing structural, like we talked about with Jaylen Brown, if there's nothing structural, if there's nothing ripped, if there's nothing broken, all this now is his pain tolerance, because it's not going to get any worse, right? It's not going to get any worse. It's not like I'm going to tear something. No, now it's just a matter of how much pain can I tolerate? And it's the playoffs, Ox. It's the playoffs. I'm going out there. I'm playing.
Right. So this series just got. I mean, it was already interesting, I suppose, but it really got interesting now. So we're gonna see. I know one thing, man. If JK is gonna get on the floor, he got to play some basketball.
Well, remember too, Ox, that with Jimmy Butler and with Steph Curry, I think Steph Curry. I mean, I already seen him in game 1. I think Steph Curry can put the cape on, and he could give me one of those 45, 50-point games in 11 threes and 14 attempts, some nonsense like that. I think he can do that. I'm definitely not arguing that point. What I am saying though is, with these young boys and the way that they're going right now, Jalen Green starting to turn into the player that I thought he was going to turn into, Jabari being as effective as he is, Tari starting to understand the game more, Sengun starting to get a little bit more comfortable. I'm asking Steph to put the cape on more than once, more than twice. And I think that's a tall task. I know how dangerous he is. I know how dangerous he is, Ox, but I feel like we're in a space now that now we got to go back to that, right? We got to go back to him putting the cape on. The reason why he's as effective as he is, because buckets is there. Now you asking him to go back to putting the cape on again. That's asking a lot,
but chill. So check it out, chill. I was the first Jalen Green fan up here. You know what I'm saying? Sophomore, junior year, I like Jalen Green. I said at one point when he was in senior high school, I said, give him 5 years, he's going to be the best player in the NBA. I like Jalen Green. He's not exactly what I thought he was going to be, but I got more faith in Steph Curry than I got in Jalen Green doing what he did last night again.
Of course,
I got a lot more faith in Steph Curry than I do in Dylan Brooks hitting big shots to stop runs. I got a lot more faith in Steph Curry than I do in Jabari Smith scoring in the mid-range and Torrey Easton getting out running. I got a lot more faith in Steph Curry than I do in this whole entire Rockets team put together. In the playoff atmosphere, playoff setting, I got more faith in Steph Curry than I had in all of them, Ime included. Like I don't. I'm when y'all name these names off Jalen Green and man, I'm like, okay, these some young hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure. Shout out to them. I respect them. We talking about Steph Curry though, and I'm not.
Wow.
I don't see. I don't see what's their what all this is. Like it's more like for instance, what Jordan was saying on the panel today. Say that the Rockets played terrible game one, and then they woke up whatever game two. I think it's more likely that they played terrible than they played great. You know what I mean? Like I got more faith in the Warriors. I got more faith in Draymond Green, you know what I'm saying, mixing it up on the defensive end and coming with his 12, 6, and 7 or whatever it's gonna be. Like I'm not sold on this Houston Rockets basketball team.
Because they're young. That's all that is, more than anything. Because they're young. I can get with that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can definitely get with that. I can get with that.
But tonight we got some good games tonight though. Let's get into these. We got New York, Detroit. I'm not gonna speak on that second game. We got New York, Detroit, and we got Denver, Lakers. Actually, we're gonna be up on playback for the Denver Clippers game. So y'all just tap into playback. That's what y'all need to do. If y'all want to hear us talk about that game, go to playback, watch the game with us, and we'll talk about it there. Right now, we're going to talk about this New York game, in this New York Pistons game in Detroit, and then we're gonna get to the lobby. So, chill. Game 3, tied up 1-1 in Detroit.
They stole one. They did. Yes.
You think they stole? So they stole it.
Detroit. I think they stole one. Detroit stole one, and I think that they're going to extend this series. The thing that concerns me about Detroit is Tobias Harris. Can he keep up what he's doing? That's the thing that's concerning me with Tobias Harris. Can he keep doing what he's doing? Because I like that about him. I really like the fact that Tobias Harris is giving me quality minutes. This doesn't look like the same Tobias Harris, right? This does not look like the same Tobias Harris from 2 years. This doesn't look like the same Tobias Harris from the Philadelphia 76ers. No, this looks like a completely different Tobias Harris. More confident in his shot. Better on the defensive end, looks more woven into this unit. He doesn't look like a cast off. He doesn't look like somebody that's just out there and it's Joel Embiid and Maxey. No, they actually relying on him. The thing that I'm concerned with is their third scorer, and their third scorer is Malik Beasley. I mean, they really rely on Malik Beasley, who's primarily a long ball shooter. Like, he doesn't do anything else. And I think that's where the issue is. But Cade's so damn good, Ox. Cade is so good that he makes up for so much of what they do. He gets Tim Hardaway open looks. Wide open looks, by the way. Kind of like what Luka was doing, but I think to a different degree, because I feel like Hardaway looks at Cunningham, and Cunningham looks at Hardaway like he's on that level. And when I don't mean that he's an equal player to him, but yo, don't look at me like I'm big time and you or nothing like that. No, I'm coming to you. I'm looking for you to score. I'm getting you wide open looks. And if you miss one, don't worry about that, because I'm coming back to you. So I like that.
Less of a grenade launcher.
100% less of a grenade launcher, no doubt about that, Ox. Yeah. He's definitely more. He's definitely more. He's definitely more of a playmaker that's putting. I feel like he's putting Hardaway. I feel like he's putting Beasley more in a position to score confidently, as opposed to, damn, I don't know if I'm getting the ball back. If I don't score with this guy, if I don't make this shot, I don't know when I'm getting the ball back. Kind of like what was going on with Malik Beasley with James. It's not that he wasn't getting the ball back, but it was just a different level of pressure. So I got this Detroit series going 7, and I got this Detroit series going 7. I think the Knicks outlast them in 7 games, but I think it's going to be a 7-game dogfight.
Okay. Well, game 3 coming up today, man. It comes up in about 3 hours. Y'all be ready for that. Tap into that. We'll be up at let me see. We'll be up at 7 p.m. Pacific time, y'all. So that's 10 p.m. Eastern. Nuggets, Clippers on playback. Don't miss it. You will see me and Chill up there doing that game.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know how to get the playback, right? Y'all are all familiar with playback. Let's make it happen, y'all. Okay. Oh, that's right. So y'all heard it here first. I wanted to point this out before I moved on. Y'all heard it here first. Cade clears Luka as a distributor. right? Much less of a grenade launcher. Gets the ball out to Tim Hardaway where he needs it, when he needs it, y'all.
That's not what I said.
Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just playing with y'all. Don't trip out on me. Don't trip out on me. We got couple super chats I want to get to before we get to the lobby. I've seen y'all in the lobby. Thanks for clicking that link. I appreciate y'all for clicking the link, man. Y'all watch the game, interact in the show, click the link, and come and bring the ruckus or just talk hoops. I appreciate everybody that's watching the game, watching the show, sending super chats, interacting in the comments, and just overall just being here. Appreciate
Mhm.
y'all.
Yes, sir.
Let's get to these super chats. The first super chat from Teddy Hart. He says, prayers up to Elijah Arenas. Very serious situation. I don't know. I know it was an accident. I don't know what's going on. So I don't want to speak about it because I don't have any information. And it's a serious situation. I don't want to make light of it or anything like that. Prayers to Elijah and the family for sure.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Definitely.
hmm
Keep it positive, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Um, um, Another super chat from Lee Mack. Lee Mack says, "How important is LeBron playing great with Luca on the team? Does that change that expectation, or does LeBron still need to play LeBron great?"
100% he does, Lee Mack, because it's LeBron. And if he doesn't play great, that's what he's going to be criticized for because he's LeBron. As long as he's in the league, he's going to be LeBron. And there's an expectation, and there's a level of expectation for him playing like LeBron, even if he's older. One of the things that I remember about Jabbar, when Jabbar was older, there still was a level of expectation for him to play like Jabbar, even when he was 40, even when he was 41, even when he was 42 years old. There still was a level of expectation for him to play like Jabbar. So as long as Jabbar was around, he was going to be measured as Jabbar. Well, same logic with James. As long as James is around, and as long as James is in the league, on top of that, as long as he's playing like he's playing, because remember, LeBron's going to make the All-Pro team this year, right? So as long as he's playing like he's playing, he's always going to be expected to be great. Always, no matter who he's playing with. If he was playing with this Laker team and Luka wasn't on the team, he would be expected to carry this team deep into the playoffs. If he's now playing on this team with Luka on it, he's expected to win because you got a 25-year-old star. He's not just on the team and he can just play okay. No, there's a level of expectation for LeBron James that it's going to be there for as long as he's in the league.
No doubt. Real quick, this isn't a super chat, but I thought this was kind of funny. Kilby says Luka should do the grenade celebration when his teammate makes a shot with the clock winding down.
For real.
That would be hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about the whole launcher. That's the type of a grenade launcher Luka is. Like on the shoulder with it. We have two super chats from Teddy Hart. Teddy Hart says, "Chill. In my opinion, MJ was the best individual player in the league by 1987, and even he was bounced in the first round of the '87 playoffs.
Jordan was
He
not the best player in the league. Go ahead, keep going on.
Oh, Larry Bird was
Magic
in '87. Okay, and Teddy Hart followed that super chat up with chill. Kareem missing the playoffs in 1976 as the best player in the world was another example.
Now, don't forget, Teddy Hart, that in 74, they were just in the NBA championship, right? And in 74, they had just lost in 7 games to they had just lost to the Celtics in 7 games in 74. 75, they missed the playoffs. 76, remember that team that he got on, right? That team that he got on in 76, that team that he got on, they were the Washington Wizards. But they did miss the playoffs, to your point. That was only 2 years. The next year against the Trailblazers, they're in the Western Conference Championship with the Lakers. So it wasn't 3 years. So that's not the way that works. No. With 2005, 2006, 2007, 3 straight years, that's the premise that we're talking about with Giannis. Giannis gets bounced as the number 1 seed, and then last year he misses the playoffs, and then now this year we're going to lose again? No. Those two things, the Jordan thing and Jabbar thing, are not the same. No, they're not.
100%. Those papers are going out. They lose when they play tomorrow. They play tomorrow. They lose that game tomorrow. Them Peppers is going out. And y'all better not put together no bail money, no GoFundMe, no car wash, nothing. He's sitting his ass down.
Ain't no bail. The bail is being revoked. Bail has been revoked. Right there in the county jail. No bail.
Park it. Who we got? Oh, let's get to the lobby, y'all. I got somebody coming to the stage who I believe is going to come to the stage later on tonight and playback. They do some good hate watching on Jokic. Y'all know who it is. My man. Football breakdown.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Gotta love them.
We can hear you.
No. I mean, I'm not gonna do any hate watch. I may come back and check. I'm gonna watch the game tonight. Honestly, speaking of Jokic and Giannis, it's interesting y'all say that. I was having a conversation with my friend earlier today. In the 2010s, right? We saw the best small forwards go at it. We saw a series between James and KD. We saw a series between KD and Kawhi. We've seen a series between Kawhi versus LeBron. We've seen series between Paul George and LeBron. We've seen series between the greatest point guards in Westbrook versus CP3, Westbrook versus Steph.
Football, James and Anthony too in 13. Don't leave that out.
Yeah, James and Anthony, Steph versus Westbrook, Steph versus CP3, Steph versus Harden versus Steph. Steph versus Irving. So for the best point guards and best small forwards of the prior decade, we saw all of them in the playoff series. You know what the biggest shame recently is of the last 5 years that no one's talked about? We haven't seen Giannis versus Jokic, Jokic versus Giannis, Embiid versus Giannis, or Embiid versus Jokic. And we might not ever see it. You know how sad that is? Just from a standpoint of seeing what do these guys look like head to head in a matchup in a series throughout 7 games to see who's really the top dog in terms of the MVP big men of this era. I just thought that was kind of weird and sad.
Philly did not see because I'm thinking football and I'm thinking about regular season. This is when Ben Simmons was on the team in Philly. Nope, Philly never saw Milwaukee in the playoffs. No, they didn't.
Nope. Bro,
they never saw them. No, they didn't.
Think about this. These are all MVP level, all-time Pantheon potential greats, and we're never going to see. We might not ever see them play against each other in the playoff series.
Well, to your point, and we saw that, and we saw Olajuwon in the playoffs against Shaq. We saw Olajuwon in the playoffs against Ewing. We saw Olajuwon in the playoffs against David Robinson. We saw that was going on, right? Now that I think about it, sure, I can get with that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy that not one time it's happened between these heavyweight big men that we're not going to see it, and it's and to me it's a bit of a shame. Quickly, I want to touch on I think the Warriors are in big trouble. I heard the conversation you guys were having earlier.
Football. There's a difference between trouble and big trouble. Which trouble are they in?
I think they're kind of in big trouble. I have to agree with Jordan for the fact that they're very Steph and Jimmy reliant for them to play well. You can't rely on pods. I think that the floor for the Warriors is pretty low, and their ceiling, I honestly believe, is lower than the Rockets' ceiling. The Rockets shot historically bad in game 1, and that was still a close game with both Jimmy and Steph playing very well. So if the Rockets just bring like their B game and they play okay and bring energy, I think they beat the Warriors. And then as far as the Clippers as well, I'll be quick. If Harden has a good game, has good games the next two games, I think they go back to Denver up 3-1.
I agree.
Because think about it, Bogey and Norm Powell have been on BS for the first two games. Like Bogey's been trying to sell the series.
Get Bogey off the floor, yo. Get Bogey off the floor. He killing us.
Bogey off the floor.
I hate the way that sounds. But
that's his man. Football. That's why. That's his man.
But it's not just him. It's Norman too. Those both my dudes. I'm like, man, y'all can't play. Y'all two cannot play. Y'all gotta sit down.
Norm hit a big shot at the end of the game to kind of seal it, and I think he'll be.
Nick Batum would have hit that. Norm wouldn't even have been in the game. I'm telling you.
Nick Batum has actually hit a lot of good threes. In the series thus far. But yeah, I just think Denver's margin for error is way smaller. And I think the Clippers probably come back 3-1.
Really quickly.
Okay,
I know we got to move on, but really quickly, football. We know it's coming. That James Harden game is coming.
It already kind of happened.
When?
I mean, he wasn't
game 2, chill.
That's the one.
He wasn't
Is that the
Yeah,
one?
He tried to sell. He tried to sell at the beginning, chill.
He tried to sell. He came around later, but
so if we already seen it, then we good. Okay, if we already seen it, then we good.
My thing is the last thing. I don't think Denver does anything to James Harden that actually bothers him. And I think James Harden has matured, and his game is a little bit more tempo to where he's not going to shoot his team out of the game if he feels himself having that game. So we'll see. See.
All right, appreciate you, football.
Yes, sir. We know where to find you at, brother.
Yeah, he was dribbling off. Okay. He was dribbling off his foot and all types. It was crazy. I think James Harden really played bad. He just hit some big shots at big times, and it kind of made up for it. But
I bet.
Yeah. Let me see who we got next. We got Ryan from the chat. What's up? What's up, Ryan?
What up?
What up? What up? Can you hear me?
What up?
Yep.
What up?
Yeah, man. I'm excited. It's the best time of the year. So we've got the playoffs going on. First round series have been exciting. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to the Nuggets Clippers series. You know, it's been a heavyweight matchup. You know, I really like the Zubac, versus Jokic. I like the resurgence of Kawhi, which
I think he's done a good job on Joker, to be honest with you, throughout the course of this series. I think he's done a really good job.
That's a hell of a matchup. And, we often talk about how things that happen during regular season matchups don't necessarily translate. And I think that, Zubac, his defense on Jokic and just generally the Clippers have been showing up. And, I've been listening, keeping up, and, Ox he's kind of I'm like you, Chill. He's pulled me onto the Kawhi, bandwagon. It's been, it's skeptical.
We back, baby.
Sometimes you just don't know when it's gonna go off the rails.
We back.
It looked like it.
I can cry right now. I'm so happy. Ryan, I don't know if you was around, Ryan, but there was a time when we were talking about Kawhi hanging him up. Yep. You got to understand how far we've come. We was talking about Kawhi coming off the bench somewhere. I said, man, we're taking to come off the bench behind Keegan for a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? I said he might have to. We thought Kawhi was gonna have to hang up his boots, right?
I said that, Ryan, 2 years ago. I said that I thought he'd be out the league in 2 years. I said his body.
And before the season, it was like, oh, they lost Paul George. Norman Powell's talking about this addition by subtraction shit. It doesn't sound too believable, but I feel like the same way that Joel Embiid, he would just get injured in the playoffs every year. Then last year he had just one series where he gave us where he was healthy enough to make it all the way through, and he still was hurt. He had Bell's palsy, he had lower leg stuff, but that's just the Embiid experience. And I think much like that, we're going to get a run from Kawhi where even though statistically it's just likely that he gets hurt, it's not going to happen every single time,
I don't care. I'm just so happy to see him, though.
The few times that he slipped through the cracks, it's been special.
And that's what it looked like right now. I ain't thinking about no series later on, brother. I'm not thinking about any of that. I'm just thinking about
here, right now.
That's it. That's all I care about right now. And I want it to keep going.
Yeah. No doubt.
Keep around for as long as you can.
Who you got tonight, Ryan, in the games?
Tonight,
Pistons, New York first. Okay.
You want which one you want to go first?
Whatever. It's you got it.
Nuggets, Clippers. I think Denver's going to come out and steal one on the road here. I think they're going to really come out and make their presence felt. I think that we need to see James Harden come out and have a strong performance here at home. I like how they've kept him at bay and really forced Kawhi to be the primary shot maker because times like this you can't just rely on one guy to make all the all the shots. Guys like Norman Powell are going to have to be more consistent. Bogey, he's been a non-factor. He can't really play.
What about the Detroit game? Detroit, New York.
I'm going with New York. Yeah, I'm feeling the road teams tonight. You know.
Okay.
I'm really feeling the road teams. I feel like the Knicks, they go on these runs. You know, the first game we saw with the 21-0 run last game we saw.
Ryan, real quick, I don't mean to cut you off, but we can't go into too much detail. We only got 10 minutes left. You know, Thursday's a shorter show, so we got to keep it moving. But appreciate you.
Good to talk to you.
Oh yeah, but I wasn't even gonna ask you about that, bro. No way.
All right, man. Talk to y'all later.
All right, man.
Ox, I am being honest with you, brother. I got it actually flipped around. I think they win. I think the Clippers win tonight, and I think Denver wins game 4. They take that momentum back home with them, and I think that they win 5. All the heat goes to the Clippers for game 6, and I think they fold.
Kawhi don't fold, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna find out.
Kawhi might lose, but he don't never fold.
We're gonna find out.
Who we got next? We got a Cleveland fan in the lobby chair. Somebody that I think you're pretty familiar with. Gate.
Yeah, we here to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Where this goofy ass dude? Where you been? Where you been? You ain't been around. Where you been?
I waited for this moment.
Front runner, such a front runner.
Started cooking. I've been telling you.
Ox, so you know, Ox, this is what he's gonna do, Ox. He's gonna clip this.
Yeah, I brought this
right?
too.
This is what he's gonna do, Ox. He's gonna come up here, he's gonna clip this, and he's gonna put it on his bullshit YouTube page.
Yo, was that a belt?
Yes. Or
that's our part. They're getting this season. We'll see him in the conference finals.
All right. You got anything to say? That was just your promo.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I got something to say. Yeah, you see me.
Well, get it off your chest, bro. You got limited time.
The team that you was having all these things to say.
What was I saying? What was I saying about your Cavs, yo? What was I saying about
you? You was talking all this garbage, all this rubbish.
Okay, what was I saying? What was I saying about
you? Saying, oh, you don't believe in them? How they can't do this? How they can't do that?
What can't they do? What can't they do? Go ahead, I'm listening.
You saying how they can't win a championship? About it? How they send us conference finals? How they're not good enough? How they're not better?
Who they're gonna lose to? Who did I say they're gonna lose to?
Celtics. Even though
okay. So what's the big deal? The NBA champions.
I didn't like your coverage about him. How you was talking about him? How you was talking about some of the players?
How do I feel about Evan Mobley in your estimation?
I feel about him. I mean, I don't know how you feel about him. I feel like you against.
Of course, you don't know how I feel about him. You know why? Because you only listen to what you want to hear. Get this bum ass nigga off there, Ox. Get this dude out of here.
You got your chance, brother.
Yeah, bring Rutgers.
Get your ass out of here.
I say you're gonna bring that records. I ain't mad at you, boy.
Get your ass out.
Let me see who we got. Who's next? Oh, Breezy. What's up, Breeze?
The news that shout out to Chill, shout out to Big Ox. The news that I got was Elijah Arenas, no bodily harm. He inhaled smoke, so he's recovering from that.
Okay, good. So that's good news right there. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So
good
you got smoke inhalation. Okay, we can fix that.
Yeah.
Okay, we can fix that. That's that. So no broken bones, no torn ligaments, no nothing like that.
Nothing like that, Chill.
Okay, good. We can fix that.
Okay. So that's what's up. I'm happy to hear that good news, man. Definitely.
Great news right there. Hell yes.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, man.
Okay.
Damn, I'm just happy to hear it, y'all. That's what's up, y'all. Well, let's just keep it positive, man. Let's keep praying, make sure that the young fella recovers fully, you know what I'm saying, makes it home and spend time with his parents and whatnot, man. It's just a beautiful thing, y'all. Beautiful thing. We want all the young fellas to stay healthy, man. Y'all take care of yourself out there. You got anything else, Breeze, or you just want to just give us the news?
I wanted to say I think I want to revisit this with Chill, but I think the Pistons win because of their bench. And that third scorer you was talking about, in my opinion, is Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder is going to step up and outscore the Knicks bench. He's going to outscore Campaign. He's going to outscore McBride. And that's the advantage I'm giving Pistons. And the other advantage is how Cade Cunningham comes off of that rebound, Chill. He come off of the rebound. He's flying to the other side. He's like almost a full 94.
Yes, sir.
So
the pickup point is way late. Yeah, I can get with that. Yes, I could definitely get with that. Yep.
And my question to Chill on the closeout is, who do you think got the best bench in the playoffs right now?
Cleveland. They got 10 guys.
All right, copy. I'm in the chat, y'all. I'm in the chat.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Briz.
As good as Boston's bench is, Ox, Missoula only goes about 8 or 9 deep. Cleveland got 10 guys, legit. And Atkinson, he don't play around with that rotation. He go to all 10 of them dudes. All of them.
I really like Coach Kenny Atkinson. Really do. Leaf Diggy, what up?
What's going on? Just wanted to first off, I wanted to give my prayers up to Elijah Arenas, for sure. Definitely just was following the stuff, Ticket that put out a video, whatever. So shout prayers up to him. That was on the positive side, but it's time to be ignorant and negative. Y'all know I can be. The clip of yeah, don't shake your head. It's gonna happen, Bobby. It is. Don't shake your head. Don't shake your head. You know it's gonna happen. I don't listen. I don't. You ought to know. You both ought to know by now. I don't give a damn, and I'm gonna show you I don't give a damn. This clip, the Clippers in Denver series is most likely gonna go to 7. If you gonna spread the word that Kawhi's gonna put up 40 for the remainder of the series, hey, okay. But we gonna need.
Denver ain't winning another game. If Leonard going for 40 every night, Denver ain't winning another game in the series. Not one.
Especially if you do it in under 20 shots.
Yes, Denver ain't winning another game in the series. It's not happening.
Nobody else moving like that except for KD. Only KD moving like that. Besides Kawhi.
I'm inclined to agree with you both, but here's the problem. We haven't seen the James Harden blunder yet.
Now, Ox just told me it was game 2. That's
we
what
did see. We saw it.
Okay, so we already seen it. If we already seen it, then we good.
No, it wasn't. No. Me
wasn't it.
Me and Chilltown, me and you smart enough to know that shit wasn't it.
I didn't think that was it. Because I seen James Harden blunder games.
You know it wasn't it, bro. Like Bobby's eyes see some other shit, bro. Like I'm not like me and you both know it ain't it, bro.
You disgust me. You know that.
Thank you, Bobby.
You disgust me, Lee.
Appreciate
you know that
because
I've come a long way from how I felt about James Harden. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got time to go back into that space. You know what I'm saying?
That's all right. You're gonna go back into it. It's gonna take but a few games, but you're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. So
who you got tonight? Let me get your 3-game predictions real quick before I got to pull somebody else up. Our time's limited and Claire's on my line.
Well, I got the I'm gonna take the Clippers to win this game. It's gonna be another single digit game. This is gonna be a great series. I think it's gonna come down to the wire. And I'm going to take I'm gonna take the Pistons. I think the Pistons are a tougher team. They basically playing 3/4 of the Villanova Wildcats, and they not scared of none of them.
You know what I recognize about these Brooklyn cats? They sure do hate the Knickerbockers, don't they?
Hey Ox, let me tell you right now. Queens dudes don't like Bronx dudes. Harlem dudes don't like Brooklyn dudes. Brooklyn dudes can't stand Manhattan dudes.
They sure do not like them Knickerbockers. Leave Diggy, I'm gonna leave you to hate on your lonesome, solo dolo. Just you and your hatred, brother.
Later,
I hope you.
It's not hate. It's not hate. It's realism. Remember that, Bobby. That's all I spread. I tell the truth.
Later,
no doubt. All right, bro.
Yeah. That's the way it be, y'all.
Okay, let me see. We got time for one more. We got a couple minutes. Let's go. What's up, Classic?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
What's going on?
What up? Yeah, I got the Clippers, the Pistons, and the Thunder tonight. But I want to talk about, man, Rudy Gobert real quick, man. What he does offensively is just terrible. And I'm tired of people talking about his defense, man. The defense don't matter, Chill. It's the offense.
It does. Yes, it does.
No, his defense is great, but Chill, he is so bad offensively. It don't even matter how good he is on defense.
If he was,
Chill, I don't understand why you acting like this. Chill. He is so tall, he can't catch the ball. If he just knew how to catch the ball, Chill, I think he'd probably be like the second or third. No, I'm gonna go second, the second best center in the league. If he knew how to catch the ball, but he can't catch the ball, and whenever he does get a rebound, Chill, he can't hold on to it. And I've been watching the Timberwolves closely since I became an Anthony Edwards fan. They cannot win with him on offense. Chill. If he plays over 25 minutes a game this series, the Timberwolves can't win. He can't, man. He got to get a foul trouble. If he gets a foul trouble early, the Timberwolves are gonna win. If he does not get in foul trouble, the Timberwolves are going to lose. It's that simple. They cannot play him on offense. He doesn't set screens. He doesn't pick and roll. He just runs to the paint and puts his hand up. But they're not going to throw in the ball, Chill, because he can't catch the ball. How you going to win like that?
To do average 15 a game in the playoffs. But all right, that's what's up. Okay. No problem.
Yo, Classic, I was not expecting that, bro. I'm sorry. I'm trying to go this together. I was not expecting you to come in attacking Rudy Gobert, bro.
Just saying, dude, average 15
oh my God.
Man, that loss hurt my soul the other night, man. We lost because of him. We can't do nothing on offense with him on the floor. And is over here taking bad shots, and he's not being aggressive because he got a 7.
But is Ant taking bad shots because of Rudy Gobert? Though? That's the problem. That's the problem I've been having with this team all season. Their offense, they blame that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
the offense looks amazing when Rudy Gobert is not in the game, though.
Yeah. Well, maybe he shouldn't play. Maybe he shouldn't play this series. I think there's some players like Zach Edey, Rudy Gobert, certain players in the NBA that there are series for, and there are series that aren't for you. This might be a series that's not for Rudy Gobert, but when the series that are for him, I think he helps the squad tremendously. But Classic, we gonna run. Thank you for your predictions. Thank you for your take, and thank you for the good laugh, brother. Because I was not expecting that, bro. I did not know that's what's coming, man. Hey, pull up to the playback tonight, and you can hate watch with everybody else.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I know we got a couple super chats, and we got to get out of here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just a few. We're gonna get out of y'all way. Y'all be sure to be on playback.tv tonight. You can come to the Players' Choice room, and we will be watching the Denver Nuggets travel to Los Angeles and face the Los Angeles Clippers. Chill. First playoff game. Let me move this. First playoff game in the new arena, Chill.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean something? Like that's how I think. I think it's going to be, the atmosphere is going to be absolutely suffocating.
Ox, don't forget they've been sharing an arena. Ox, you got your own room now. Like you've been sharing a room with your little brother for years. Like now you got your own room. You can design it how you want to design it. You can put the bed where you want to put it. It's gonna look way different. And that's what's going on with the Clippers. We got our own building. We hosting a playoff game. It's gonna be big time tonight. Big time.
Yeah, right on. Well, we'll be there on Playback TV. Y'all make sure to get there on time. Real quick, I got 2 super chats. One from SMN R&D. I don't like this. Man, is 40 being good? Man, 40 being good should still be appreciated. People shouldn't expect a 40-year-old to do all this.
They don't, and they don't expect that. They can't expect that because ain't nobody else done it like this at 40 years old. So you can't. No.
SMN R&D followed that up by saying, "I'm in my 30s, and after a hard gym session, I feel it the next day. Now I know the guy is an athlete, but he's 40. I don't know if people understand what that means."
Especially at that level, yeah, man. That's different. That dude built different. Way different.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Amazing. Take care of your body, y'all. Stretch, man. Stretch. I think stretching helps with longevity as well, man. Drink a lot of water. Stretch. Hit the sauna when you can. Swim. Just take care of your body, man. Take care of yourself. You only get one, y'all. With that being said, we're gonna head out. Check us out playback in about 5 hours. Y'all gonna chill with Chill all day.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all pull up.
I'm sorry, Ox. That was Claire. She I had to turn the phone off because she.
Right. We out of here, y'all. Yeah. We out here. We don't got nothing left. Sorry, Claire. We went over 6 minutes today, y'all.
Yes, we did. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hit my man up. He'll make sure that you get to where you need to go. We will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light, but take it. Playoffs, baby. Playoffs.
Yes, sir. We got some playoff